Hey, it's Brian Mertens, and in this video, I want to share something with you that has been a huge inspiration in my life and helped me to access heightened states of naturalist intelligence. For thousands of years, people have been going into nature to meditate, to seek solitude, and stimulate the senses. I remember back when I was a teenager and really struggling to find my own direction in the world. Who am I? What is my purpose in life? And I started getting really curious about an experience that people were having called eco-psychology. And it's this really interesting thing that happens inside the mind of human beings when they enter into an immersion experience out in the natural world and focus your attention on being present to the landscape. There's some really interesting studies that document how people who take this time to just be outside in nature with the trees and the plants and the birds, it brings you into a meditative state of consciousness that is very medicinal for the fast pace of modern society. And people are coming away from that experience with a rejuvenated sense of deep happiness and clarity and inner peace that stimulates new ways of thinking and looking at the world. So it really made me think about this question of, why does nature have this effect on people? What is it about a natural environment that really causes these shifts to take place inside the human brain? And the thing that I always end up coming back to is this undeniable fact that human beings originate from nature. We're a product of nature, and our brains developed in a survival situation out on the plains of Africa. And literally on the level of the internal structures within your brain, there's all these different parts of your brain that actually exist for the purpose of gathering information about plants and trees and birds and all these different environmental patterns, and then using that information to survive. So if you think about it, the primary tool that we have as individuals to learn about our environment and survive in a constantly changing landscape is the five senses. So you have a part of your brain that's connected to your eyes, and it's devoted to dealing with visual information. There's a part of your brain that's connected to your ears, and it's devoted to handling auditory information. There's a part of your brain that's connected to your sense of touch, your emotions, your sense of smell. All these different sensory skills have their own devoted brain modules. And every time that you focus your mind on nature and stimulate your senses by looking at a landscape or listening to the birds or following animal tracks on the ground, what you're actually doing is running little tiny electrical currents through the neural pathways of your brain. And I really think that this is one of the big reasons why being outside in nature does have such profound effects on human consciousness, and why so many of history's great geniuses and thinkers routinely immerse themselves in nature for inspiration and clarity. So, how can you activate your earth brain? How can you stimulate those parts of your brain that are designed for the purpose of gathering information about a landscape and recognizing patterns in the local environment? The first thing is quite simply to just start going outside and practice being mindful of what's happening around you. Every time you step outside your door, there's so many different things to be aware of in your surroundings: colors, shapes, sounds, movement, plants, trees, birds. And all that's required for you to start opening up your mind is to start looking. And if you look and listen carefully to your surroundings, you will instantly start noticing more than you noticed up to that point. And as soon as you start noticing things, that is a sign that you're using the sensory modules of your brain in a new way. Another thing that you can do is to actually pick some specific area of nature study, like birds or plants or tracking. Find something that inspires you about nature and throw yourself into exploring that aspect of nature. Start learning about how to gather food from the land and how to get closer to wildlife and how to interpret the mysteries of a landscape. These are all different experiences that can motivate you and inspire you to set some good goals around engaging with nature in a deeper way. And as you start exploring and really focus on tuning your awareness with what's happening around you, you're literally having an effect on the neurological structure of your brain. You're entering into a really conducive environment for expanding your mind and stimulating your senses and switching on your naturalist intelligence. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're excited to really do this and get your earth brains really juiced up, I'll make sure to put some links and action steps that you can follow in the description below this video so you can really start making some headway and move through life with a much deeper level of engagement and awareness. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.